Well, let's start. And I don't like this kind of slides, you know. I put it here, and you can use the slide share to see. But, well, I'm doing RUP from about 14 years. Agile, Kanban, okay? I'm a Lincoln University trainer and coach. Well, let's start. This first part is just to an assessment of you. I want to assess your knowledge about Kanban. And what is this? Simple. Short answer. Yes. It's a Microsoft tool for Campbell, right? Windows. Yes. In fact, this slide is just a tip for you. Glass is the best surface to do Kanban, you know. But yes, it's a Kanban board, right? You have stick notes flowing. This is the kind of visualization that I showed on Monday. It's also Kanban, okay? You don't need to make your Kanban just like this, columns, post-it notes flowing. This is also Kanban. It's a kind of visualization of the bugs, of the problems you have. In fact, this is a UML component diagram, okay? We can use UML today. It's not old-fashioned. And what's the future of the Kanban visualization? What's your guess? Digital. No. This is the future, right? This is the balloon Kanban. Have you ever heard of it? Every time someone comes with the new demand, you fill up a balloon, and here is your demand, okay? How do you feel about this? How's this guy feeling right now? A lot of work, right? Well, what about this? What is happening here? Stand-up meeting, people collaborating, right? It's also Kanban. It's going to get a little bit harder. What is it? Safety? Yes? What is happening here? Come on. Backlog? Here? The blue? Yes, this is a cumulative flow. And what do you see before this line and after this line? What happened with the work in progress? WIP limits introduced here. We've got some time to reach the limits. And after the limits, we have a more predictable system. Okay? That's the way you see a cumulative flow diagram. All right? Well, this is a little bit harder. How this relates to Kanban? You have a capacity here, you have time, you have status quo here, a curve. Yes, let's see that this time scale is about 8 months, all right? What kind of change is this? Introduction of Kanban? Disruptive change, okay? It's the way that we call it a 20th century change, okay? A big change, took a lot of time to recover the capacity. You reach a new status quo, that's the way the change works, all right? And this is what we call revolution, process revolution. And what is this? The green one. Incremental change. Evolutionary change, all right? And which one fits better the Kanban mindset? The green one or the purple one? The green one. Okay, this is the 21st century way of changing things in organizations. That's what Kanban is, all right? Well, you are going good on this, okay? This is the J-curve of change. It's a theory that explains the capacity and time when we introduce change on your environment, all right? It's going to get a little bit harder. How this relates to Kanban? Flow? Yes? No, it's not flow. What? Low whip? Another tip for you. Bruce Lee. How does Bruce Lee relate to Kanban? Do you know the theory? You know that Bruce Lee was a philosopher, all right? Do you know this? Be like water. Our MMA fighter Anderson Silva also follows this kind of philosophy. How this relates to this? What happens with the water when the water finds a rock on the way? Goes around the rock. You know how this relates to Kanban? No? Okay. Let's see. The be like water philosophy is about when the water is going down the hill, finds a rock, the first thing that the water does is to go around the rock. Don't try to push it down the hill, you know? That's the way Bruce Lee sees the philosophy. In fact, he used this philosophy in fighting, okay? And Kanban is about this, avoiding the rocks. And we'll see in this presentation what some of the common rocks that I see around in my consulting work, all right? Well, let's see an example here. I've got a team in Belo Horizonte. It's a city in Brazil. And we have development team here. You have the test team here, all right? And we have a management tool. The developers send the demand to the test team. The test team does what the tester do. And you have a bug tracking tool here. And the bugs returns for the development, okay? Development guys, they fix the bugs. And what happened here is that when I started the consulting work with this company, they've got 32 demands on the management tool, okay? And 168 bugs on the bug tracking tool. That's the way that they were doing their work. That's the way that the system was configured, all right? Well, the problem is that the customer here had a lot of asking about how much my thing is going. It's a common stuff, all right? They have 32 demands to deliver to the market, all right? And it's reasonable for the customer to ask when it's going to go, how long it's going to take to my demand to go to the market. Well, question: what would you do on this situation? Any tips? Come on. Imagine that you are the change agent in this scenario. What would you do? Except clause. All right? What? Measure? Measure cycle time and lead time. What else? Okay, we can prioritize these 32 demands. It's a good. What? Stop the line? Yes. It's a really nice. What? Yes. Yes. When you got this situation here, I guess that in Brazil, if you ask people about this kind of problem, I guess that you are more Kanban-like guys, all right? People usually would say that to solve this problem, you have to switch the self-organized button, all right? The solution is turn it on. Self-organized people. The people will know what to do in this situation. Does it happen in your country, in your city, your community? Okay. The solution is just turn on the self-organized button. Okay? Let the people together, and they will solve all the problems that happen in the environment. Well, the problem is that when you turn on this self-organize button, okay, here's the problem, do whatever you want to do about this problem, okay? The problem is that these people, they have a self-esteem, they have an identity. The tester sees himself as a tester. The developer sees himself as a developer, okay? And it's a problem when you try to override this. No, there's no tester anymore, there's no developer anymore, everybody's a team member, okay? And what happened? The real problem here, you detected, is a high WIP, okay? The first step, the first thing to do is to reduce this WIP. It's too much 32 here and too much 168 here. All right? You all agree. Some of the suggestions you made drives to this. The problem is that the satisfaction here is that the customer was not happy with this model. All right? Well, like I said, a tester sees himself as a tester, the developer sees himself as a developer. Well, be like water. How do you solve this problem? Initially, what I see is that one of the rocks in the system is people identity and people self-esteem. All right? Initially, the Kanban will not try to hold this rock down the hill. You try to go around the rock. All right? Well, this is a question that I'm doing for several teams. I did Monday in my Ignite talk. How do you feel about things? This is an unusual question, right? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about these numbers? 32, 168. What side of your brain you use to read these numbers? What about this? How do you feel about it? All right? Kanban is all about this. You have to visualize the problems. Usually the numbers are cold, and the post-it notes are, well, the pink ones are the bugs, the yellow ones are the demands. Okay? You visualize the work, and now the team, the people have the tools to solve the problem. All right? But initially you still have the development team, you still have the testers team. And what happens, the way I see, that the problem about the WIP usually is that the WIP try to move people away from each other, okay? Especially when you have some problems like this, okay? And what I see also is that when you try to reduce the WIP, the people starts to get closer. All right? The metaphor here is really simple. Imagine that you send a love letter for your girlfriend, all right? And she takes like she took 7 months to answer the love letter. Right? How do you feel about it? Okay? The cards flow and the Kanban are like love letters, okay? If the development team sends a love letter to the testers team, and the testers teams take like 5 or 6 weeks to answer this, it's going to be a problem, okay? And I see that one of the good ways to make people more close to each other is to reduce WIP, okay? Especially in the case like this. Well, you see here, you have this magic, okay, button, self-organize, and you have here this management. And the WIP of your system, the WIP of your process, is like a level. You can raise the WIP, you can reduce the WIP, okay? Well, another one here, another case study. Command control anarchy. The way I feel about the market today is a little bit polarized around these two scales, okay? Or it's totally command control, or it's totally self-managed, self-organized, okay? In fact, the totally self-organized is a way less emotional to say anarchy. Do you agree or not? Right? And the thing is that you have a lot of gray areas around these two limits, all right? And I'm personally interested about this gray area here, okay? The gray area, I see there's a lot of opportunity, there's a lot of things good to do within this gray area, all right? Well, this is an example that Don Heinertsen usually uses in his talks, and is also on his book, the Boeing case, all right? When I guess that the first sale of the Boeing was for a company here in US, and they said something like this: I will not buy your plane if the plane doesn't weigh like something, okay? And so the team have not just a money budget, but also a weight budget, okay? And how to decentralize control of this, okay? Well, you have engineer, you can spend $300 to reduce a pound on the plane. You are a supervisor, you can use 600 to reduce a pound on the plane, and you have the program manager with more money to reduce a pound on the plane, all right? The question is, which model they are using? Command control or anarchy? It's a combination. They're using both, right? What we see about the decentralized control is that usually people react emotionally about the self-organization stuff, okay? And I guess that a better name for the self-management is decentralized control. It's also a level, okay? You can do more centralized control, less centralized control. And in fact, in this case, the Boeing case, the managers didn't constrain. In fact, they constrained the nature of the decision, not the decision itself, right? That's the way the decentralized control usually works. Well, this is another case, the boring demand. It was really funny, this client I worked in São Paulo. This team was doing a product. In fact, it's already released on the market. They are doing maintenance of this product. And they have these pink tickets that they call it the board demand. It was something really a pain in the ass to do this product, okay? And they were using Scrum. And the thing is that the Paulus on Scrum is something like this. You guys, you take all the board demand on this sprint, okay? Do you think this is reasonable to do this? Is it reasonable? Come on. I've got some stickers for you if you participate more, okay? Is it reasonable? It's reasonable. It's reasonable? Okay, of course it is. Well, what happened is that this boring stuff was really cost delay sensitive, okay? The market was asking for this boring demand. In fact, some clients are affected by this boring demand not done, okay? And of course, this guy was really upset about this, okay? And what happened? Let me ask you something. What happened when you have a time box of 1 week to do boring work? And the next week you are free about it. What happened? How many of these you are going to do on this week? A lot of it? Well, what? Yes. In fact, the system like this, the guy getting the board demand delivers something like 1 or 2 on the week. Okay? It's the boring week of his life. Well, of course they got bad performance about this, and again, this is a change agent track. I guess that some of you want to be a change agent, okay? Maybe a KCP for Lincoln University. Well, what would you do in this situation? Come on. No clue at all? What? Sorry. Expedited one, okay, can be. What happened is that on this situation, the customer said that, no, this system is not working. We have to change it. And what we did is something like this. We create a swim lane for the board and demand, okay? Now the board and demand start to flow. And also with the value demand here on the swim lane. And, well, put some limits on it. People were working together, but this doesn't solve the problem of the board demand, the performance of the board demand, okay? Well, the manager here said something that I really liked. He said something like, you, team, need to set up a policy about this, okay? But I don't want to interfere in your work. You will define the policy that fits better for you, the team, all right? It was really cool. I really like it. It's a really noble management decision, I think. And what happened is that, this is really funny. They defined a policy like this. I, the first guy, I'm going to do 3 boring demands, okay? And I will point out the best guy to take another 3 boring demands. And it really worked, all right? The performance was better doing this, okay? Well, you see, again, on management, the decentralized control is a level. You can do more centralized control or less centralized control depending on your context. Okay? Well, like I said, the management is not just like some agile guy says. No, management is just, well, you switch on the self-organized button and everything will magically be solved. Okay? I don't believe in this. Well, this decentralization level is also a rock. Some organizations that will be acting as a change agent, some organizations will support a more decentralized level, okay, of control, and some of others not. All right? Well, people don't resist change, they resist being changed. Have you ever heard this? Yes, from previous conference, it's a really common phrase from Peter Senge. Okay, this is another one. This is a company also in São Paulo, and they were developing a product. It's a mobile product, all right, on Android and Apple iPhone. And here's the thing. You have the Android team here. You have the iOS team here, the C++ team here. This is kind of... And the Ruby Rails here, and the Java team here. And, of course, this guy in the middle. Who is this guy? The manager, all right? Well, and this product has about 17 models, okay? And you have these teams to work. Basically, the iOS team and the Android team are the client teams. The C++ are working with this iOS and Android teams here, doing some persistent stuff, some infrastructure stuff on the cell phone. And you have the Ruby Rails here, is the client, the server part of the product, okay, the synchronized with the clients here, the cell phones. And you have also this Java team here, okay, they work together on the server side with the Ruby Rails guys, okay. And what happened here? Let's do Scrum. Let me ask again, is it reasonable to choose Scrum starting this project? What do you think? Yes, it's reasonable. It's reasonable. All right? We have a lot of publicity, a lot of people saying about Scrum in the market, so it's reasonable. Well, but what happened? They created backlogs. Each team has the backlog, start to do sprints, okay? And what do you think that the problem that happened here? Yes. This backlog have a lot of dependency on this backlog, and this backlog have also a lot of dependency on this backlog. And when you draw these dependencies, or something like this. Okay? And in fact, the problem here is that I'm doing about a user story here that depends on this team. And what happened? Oh, I'm doing my sprint here. It's Wednesday. It's going to finish only on Friday. The next planning, we'll talk about it. All right? And then this demand comes to this backlog. And what really happened here is that to control all of these dependencies, they use this. I want to do Scrum, and the dependencies are your problem, manager. Okay? And what happened here? Who was at Jabe's talk yesterday? He told about the broker. Yes. I have a better name for the broker here. I call this guy the proxy manager. Okay? The proxy that just distributes the stuff around the company. Well, what's funny here is that this guy's upset now. And what is interesting is that the process perspective, everything's okay. If you ask these guys, they will sell that. They will say that I'm really doing Scrum, and I'm happy with it. Okay? But the management perspective is a pain in the ass. I have to go to all the meetings, the daily meetings. I have to coordinate the things in the backlogs. All right? Well, again, the question, what would you do in this situation? Create what? Create cross-functional teams. Is it reasonable? Alguém, alguém is someone in Portuguese, you know. Someone have another way to change the system? Again, people, system like this, when you have to coordinate the work with a lot of teams, and when you have the demand that needs to be done by the other team, and this demand goes to the backlog, what happens is that you start to put a lot of delay in the development. The response time of the teams are not efficient to run things like this. And what you've got is a big whip. All right? Well, how to solve this? Well, I simply ask the manager, what is the most important model that we need to ship right now? Okay? What is the most important model that we are going to test on the market? All right? Well, this guy selected the model, and I asked the teams, go and find the tasks that will deliver this model, right? We did it, the cross and multidisciplinary team, put all these people together. It was about 27 people, and we asked them to create the tasks. What do we need to do to deliver this model? And then the Java guys, the C++ guys, the Android guys, the Apple guys, put there. Well, those are my tasks to deliver this model. All right? Well, this is a Kanban stuff. Now the models are flowing, and people are somehow self-organizing to deliver this model. All right? Well, and it really worked. Well, but what happened here? It's interesting. They were upset about this change. Why do you think that this happened? They are not seen as efficient, yes. But that's not the main problem here.
You're being forced to focus on module 1 without their.
Yes, also. Yeah, I agree that there's a lot of slack here. You mentioned about it, okay? But the main problem is the same stuff that I showed in the first case. Well, how do you feel that now you an Objective-C developer need to talk with the Android ones. Okay? How do you feel about it? And now, you don't have to just collaborate with your tribe. You have also to collaborate with the other tribes. Who was present on the race presentation yesterday about the tribes? Yes. This is a really, really, really nice theory about it. All right? Some people simply ignore this. The tribes are important. Well, the tribes here started to have a problem. Me, okay, Android developer, they just don't want to talk with the Java guys or the Rails guys. Okay? That's what happened here. Well, tribal behavior. You have any Star Wars fans here? Okay. Star Trek fans. Okay. Tribal behavior. Tribal behavior also is one of the rocks. Sometimes you have to simply go around it, and you can't change it on the beginning of your change management stuff. Well, how to solve this? To address the first problem, we raised the whip for 2 models to get a better utilization of the team. And these guys here, the C++ guys, they are really, really, really having problems to self-organize with the largest crowd of people. Okay? They felt different. They felt, I don't need to participate in all these meetings you've got. I need a Kanban for my people here. Okay? It's a tribal stuff. And on this case, we have to move them to a separate space to have his own Kanban stuff. And usually when you see a situation like this, what happens is that we develop the network like a service-oriented architecture. Okay? If you need the C++ guys, you go to put the demand there, and that's the way this was being solved in this company. Okay? Well, tribal behavior inside this big crowd was solved with time. All right? It's kind of interesting that when you start a change initiative in your company, time is your friend. Okay? What I'm seeing with Kanban is that when you start Kanban in a company, it takes time. This evolutionary stuff, some companies, you have less rocks, and you can do Kaizen faster, all right? But some companies, it takes time. But usually the change payoffs. Sometimes with Kanban, with small changes, you can have a high leverage on the system. Well, specialization of your company also is a lever. You can do more specialization or less. You can have more specialized teams or specialists or less. Not everybody in the market or not everybody in your company are happy with the multidisciplinary stuff. Well, and you have a lot of other levels that you can change. Like capacity allocation, like variability in flow, head count, risk, process policies, technical practices. Well, the bottom line is you don't have just one switch to turn on like self-management. Okay? You have a lot of things that you can dance on the system. Thank you.